Well, Wednesday is here. How are we all doing? We have some energy this Wednesday morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, you can hear me. All right. Never know with all this tech I got going over here. It's one problem after another. Well, welcome to Wednesday. Hope you guys had a great Tuesday, and hopefully your Wednesday is off to a great start. We've got our home inspector crew with us this morning, so we can definitely dive into some home inspection topics. But as we kind of normally do here, I want to open up to the floor. Anybody have something that is pressing, something going on in one of your transactions that'd just be an interesting share for the group? Martin.
So I got a wonderful call this morning. Have a couple that moved up from Alabama. Everything's, going according to plan. And then of course this morning I get a phone call. They sold their house down south, but then there was a lot that was never mentioned. Some land that was supposed to be sold to be part of this down payment. Of course, was not mentioned until probably about a week and a half ago. And we're deep into this deal, and that was never part of the offer, saying, hey, this is part of, us getting this home. Originally wasn't needed, but of course, the transmission, his truck broke, so he had to spend a couple $1,000s, hence less of a down payment. Now we need to find a place for them to stay for the next possibly 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm hoping to have some help with that. We put them, my friend had an Airbnb, we put them into that. Unfortunately, he has it booked for other clients now, and just looking to see if somebody can help me out here. Has a place that they can stay for, we don't know if it's gonna be a week or if it's gonna be 3 weeks type of deal.
So I just for some clarity here, everything went okay with the purchase or the sale of their property. I think you said it was in Alabama, right? All of
Correct,
that goes smooth. You've got them lined up to purchase something up here,
Yep.
but they were expecting to get some land with it that is now no longer part of the deal.
No. They're selling some land down south.
Oh, in
That was
addition to the house.
correct, and they thought this was going to be going through. They weren't worried about it, so they never mentioned it. Of course, now suddenly it is an issue.
Okay, so the piece of land is completely separate from that house. And
Correct.
okay, so the house closes, the land doesn't close. Supposedly the buyer is still going to buy that land, but it could take a few weeks. So now we don't have the money to put down for the property up here.
As of this morning, they don't know if they're going to be selling. If that deal is going through.
Okay. Does that deal need to go through in order for the deal up here to happen?
When I talked to the bank the other day, they said they could still do it, but it's going to take longer because they waived appraisal, and now they're going to need to do the appraisal in order to do.
Without that land sale.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. And where are they like right now?
Right now they're in one of my friend's Airbnbs, but like I said, we're trying to get them to something else.
What town?
With that. Connecticut. So
they'll go anywhere in Connecticut?
Connecticut, Massachusetts, within reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just looking for a short-term rental. They don't want to start spending, thousands of dollars. Airbnbs aren't cheap.
Yep.
So they're looking for something short-term rental that's not too expensive. And they have 3 dogs and a cat.
Oh, beautiful.
Along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just more fun stuff.
Let's just, in general, Chris Cook just put something in here. I'll flash it up on the screen. Corporatehousing.com is something that she has used. So maybe check into that.
Yeah, they're pricey though. Those are not cheap.
Okay. Anybody else have any other suggestions besides VRBO or Airbnb?
I just had someone getting corporatehousing.com for 1 month for $1,400 for a 2-bedroom. So if they're looking for cheaper than that, they better go camping.
Well, they may have to, because like I said, they got the animals.
Then tell them to go to a campground. Maybe they can do that for real.
They're gonna have to.
That's what I was gonna say. They have cabin ones too.
Yeah.
So that might be an option, because with the pets, it's going to be difficult unless you can go into some like pet-friendly hotel, motel.
Yeah, I have a friend that owns a hotel here in Westfield, so I'm gonna reach out to him this morning after this call, see if I can get something for them.
definitely not cheap, but the Homewood Suites hotels allow it. And you get like usually a little bit more space, full like kitchen type situation. And I know they allow that.
Say that again, Lauren. I'm sorry.
Homewood Suites.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Homewood Suites, yeah. They also, there's a nice piece of land down in Alabama that I believe they could tent up on.
There you go. Free of charge, I'm sure.
Free of charge. Anybody else have any other suggestions here? Anything else that you've done to get creative on temporary housing for somebody?
If they are moving forward this property that they're going into, is it vacant? Do they have a chance for potentially?
Martin, is there a chance for the owners of whatever they're buying to let them move in early?
Oh, I've tried that already.
Yeah.
That was my first thing to go to, but it seems that the lawyer doesn't want them to be in there, and it is vacant, which I don't get it. It's just I'm gonna try again and talk to the listing agent again this morning, because that was my first go to.
Yeah, I think most attorneys just take a hard line one way or the other. Hey, I've been through this. It's been a nightmare. I've had some scary situations. Do not let anybody in that house until they own it. And others kind of, I think, let their clients make a decision. Hey, look, we got a vacant property. You guys live, however many miles away, or if they don't even live in the area, it might be actually nice to have somebody in the property, just kind of watching over the property between now and close. Cause just, vacant properties aren't great.
Well, that's the whole thing. They're down in Texas, the owners.
So there you go.
And and that's basically, I worked that exact angle, and it was just nope.
Yep. Yeah. My experience has been you've got some attorneys that just they've had some horror stories. They share those with their client, and then they say, "This is why I don't let anybody in." So, did you guys have something in particular, John? I'm seeing your message that you guys wanted to chat about.
No, we just wanted to open it up. We only have about 5 minutes based on inspections we have going.
Okay.
So we just wanted to pop on, answer any questions you might have, and get on with our day.
All right. Anybody have anything for John and Todd? Anything come up home inspection wise? Do we have a crazy photo to share? I mean.
All
Well,
right.
looks like you guys are
well
not
taken
needed.
care of.
Jeez.
Everyone's well taken care of out there. That's good to hear.
Easy peasy. All right. Well,
all right. Thank you all.
Go
Good
nail
hunting.
your home inspections. Yes.
Thanks. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Anything else on temporary housing or Martin's situation that we should discuss? Anything coming up? All right. I mean, I think you've kind of explored the options that I'm aware of, Martin. Getting them in there early, hotels, Airbnb, VRBO, corporatehousing.com. I mean, I don't know that there's going to be anything super short term, but Hot Pads is a rental platform. There could be something, unique there. So Hot Pads. Anybody aware of any other site that could be of value here in this particular situation? Linda?
Furnished Finders. It ensures that it's a furnished home or property, and it's called Furnished Finders. And I would give that a go.
Thank you.
Sure.
Other topic that I had teed up for today was buyer's remorse. Just kind of want to talk about it in general. I think it's obviously a real thing. It happens fairly frequently, especially for first-time home buyers. Just wondering if anybody wanted to share any experiences that they've had, how they've handled it, what might have worked, not worked when it comes to buyer's remorse. Right? This is just, hey, you buy it. Even before home inspection, all of a sudden, they don't want to move forward. Martin.
Well, this wasn't moving. They moved forward with it. They were from South Dakota. They came in. They bought a condo down in Springfield. Um, I tried to show everything I could for them. Through even their family showed up. So when they moved up, I guess it wasn't what they were expecting. So they were kind of like not happy with their purchase. I actually saw them 2 weeks ago.
So
Um,
let me just pause you there. Is this like, hey, we buy it sight unseen with a video tour, we close, and then post close they're not happy, or does this start to set
yes,
in
post
before close?
close.
Okay, this is
No,
post close. Okay,
post
all right.
close. It needed some work, and that was stated right up front. And they put some money into this condo. And when I saw them last week, they were actually ecstatic now. It's what they wanted. It's exactly. And I told them, the way the condo is right now, you're ahead by about 30 grand if you wanted to put this on the market. And that kind of like smoothed everything over, and me talking to them again, and like, I understand you had to put work into it, but you knew it, but I don't think it was as much work as they thought it was going to be. That's all. So, but now they're happy, but it was just like I said in the beginning, it was they weren't too thrilled.
Too thrilled, yeah. And I think there is some ebbs and flows with the purchase, right? There can be, oh, I hate this. Oh my God, thank God you made us buy this. The sweat equity was a nightmare, but man, we're really, really happy that we got into the neighborhood that we wanted to, right? Linda.
Jeffrey and I, whenever we have clients sign off on a contract and we get the good news that their offer had been accepted, when we call them to share that great news with them, we tell them, as always, as part of our talk with them, hey, you know what? In the middle of the night, if you wake up going, oh my gosh, what have I done? And you get these jitters, please know that that is absolutely normal. It doesn't matter if it's your first home, your 10th home. We always, question ourselves, am I doing the right thing? So if you have those feelings and those sensations, you are not alone. We all have them. It's normal. It is part of this journey. And so when you do that, you give them that expectation that it is going to happen. And so when it does, and they experience those feelings, they go, "Oh, okay, that's right. We were told that that's part of the plan." And so we try to set that expectation up so that it happens well before we have our home inspection.
That's a great share, Linda. I've pretty much just responded to these situations, but I really do think I think it's very normal. I don't know what the percentages are, but I would assume they are extremely high. And I think this is a really good way to approach it. Is at the time of acceptance to just address it head on and set that expectation so that it feels normal when it happens. That's a great share. Thank you, Steve.
So I was dealing with a little bit of a nightmare in the last few days. Buyers toured a house, they loved it. It was competitive, and I let them know, like, listen, here are some ways we can strengthen our offer. Like, they want it. This was the one. And the wife is the one that's on the financing, the husband isn't. Weird situation there where it's like, don't talk to me, talk to her. I don't care, whatever she wants. So it's like, great. Then it was stressful, and she's like, I don't want to talk to him. And I'm like, all right, great. And then he's like, all right, talk to her. So it was like a ping pong effect. They loved the house. I went to work, got the offer accepted. We have a home sale contingency on it. So that was our weak part of our offer. We're supposed to do our deposit. We're like on 2 days past, like we're supposed to have this done. They're having a little bit of like remorse because they're seeing their monthly payment. Now, their purchase from their original home to what they're buying is twice the price. The interest rates are twice. And for some reason, they didn't think that their monthly payment would be twice of what their normal. So they freaked out. They pulled out on our lender, got a new lender who tried to sweet talk them there. Then that lender got them to switch attorneys, which I wasn't really happy about because we were using one of our attorneys and it was great. And So I ended up smoothing that over and doing damage control and letting, our preferred saying, like, listen, this is nothing for you. Like, they're freaking out. We have an inspection that was due, scheduled for yesterday. They weren't sure if they were going to move forward with it. I'm like, oh my God, like, this is a roller coaster up and down. And I'm trying to, you know, reassure the listing agent that, everything's good over here. And I'm trying to figure it out. And it's like, what are we doing? We need to figure this out because I need to communicate to the other side what's happening because I don't want to stall them and they have two other strong offers they were going to take. They took ours. They end up moving forward with the inspection, actually adding on extra services. Inspection went well, went back to the house, just the wife, not the husband. They seem to work a little bit better under stress separated than together, one. So they fell in love with the house again yesterday. Then we're stressed out about the home sale contingency. That didn't go well because they didn't want to do the open house right after we went to market. They wanted me to wait a week and go to last weekend, which was Mother's Day weekend, not ideal weekend, on just a Saturday. Can't really do much on a Sunday on Mother's Day. Limited showing availability because realtors were showing up late. They have two dogs and a kid they have to get out every time. It's raining all last week. They're stuck in the rain. They're looking at their Ring camera. No one's showing up on time. They're like frustrated. They're like, shut it down. Like, we're tired of this. So I get them calmed down. I'm like, let's get this house sold. I go to the office yesterday. You saw me. I got 5 open house signs. I'm halfway home and I get a call from a realtor and she's like, we have a strong offer. We want you to cancel the open house. I said, I can present it. That's all I can do. And I try to tell them like, the pros and cons of taking an offer now. They're like, we want it. We're taking it. We're done. Like, and it was well over asking exactly what they needed. And I mean, it's been up and down and it's
Yeah,
insane.
I would just say I don't think the roller coaster ride is over. These types of clients are going to continue at every stage to be like this, and this is part of the job that you don't see on the TV shows, I guess, necessarily. Is the therapist role of trying to keep people focused on what the goal is. And it sounds like you're doing a pretty darn good job, man. It's not easy. With the back and forth. And this is a great example of, you're going to be that guy that cancels the open house, right? And here's the scenario. So, just that perspective that stuff does happen, right? And every agent that cancels the open house wasn't like the devil. There could be some reasoning behind it. So, great share. Martin, did you have a comment or?
Yeah, I thought our job was to say this is the kitchen, this is the bathroom, this is the. I thought that's what we do as realtors. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think as I've been putting together that little art of the deal masterclass, I've got a little section on just showing the house, and I think a lot of showing the house is really watching the buyer's reactions. Right? Watch what their reaction is when they walk into the living room, when they see the backyard for the first time, right? Like paying attention to those details. How are they reacting? What kind of questions are they asking? I think sometimes you can get lost. I remember one of my mentors telling me that after every showing, you should ask, unless it's completely obvious they have no interest in this house, after every showing, ask them if they want to write an offer. Because you just, I think some people don't, if you haven't done it at a buyer presentation, don't understand the offer writing process, maybe aren't great communicators. And so I started to do that. If I felt like I just wasn't sure, like obviously if it's clear they don't want to write an offer, you don't want to look like an idiot and ask if they want to write an offer. But other than that, just be like, hey, you know what? I'm not really sure on how you guys are feeling about this. Is this the type of property that you guys would want to write an offer on? And just kind of throw it out there and see what they say. You'll be amazed of like, especially if it's a property that's been sitting, they might want to throw an offer in, right? If you don't ask, you'll never know. Chris.
So mine is kind of the opposite of yours at the moment because you're talking about like if it's been sitting, but for the buyer's remorse, like what I found lately in this market is because it is so crazy out there right now that people want to write it and they want to write it right now, right now, right now. And so I'm like, you got to sleep on it. Let's sleep on it. So I had one last night, $650,000 house in Wilbraham, showed it. And I could tell that the husband was not as excited as the wife. And she's like, come on. And they're friends of mine, which always makes it a great time. And she's like, let's go write the offer now, now, now. I'm like, not happening. And sure as shit, I just got a call from her this morning. Oh, he didn't really love it. He doesn't want to put in an offer. And if I had said yes, he would have went along with her last night without a shadow of a doubt. And then I would have ended up with that buyer's remorse. So I think sometimes a pause, a breath. I think in this market, everybody thinks it has to happen right this second, which don't get me wrong, it can't be sat on, but you can certainly sleep on it, you know? And I did call the agent as soon as I left and said, hey, look it, we have strong interest. And of course, I had to call her this morning and say, just kidding, you know? So there's that pause, you know, for the buyer's remorse.
Well, I think you're saying exactly though what I said was you're reading that showing, right? You're past the level of just showing houses. Because I think when you get in, you know, like Martin said jokingly, but I think when you get in, when you're first doing it, you're just showing houses. You're not doing all this extra stuff. But this is the evolution, right? You're paying attention. You're noticing, are both parties, this is a great example, are both parties on the same page? Right? And who wears the pants? Because if the person that wears the pants in that relationship isn't the one that's super excited about it, we're probably not writing an offer. So these are the
Definitely
little,
not. You're
yeah,
right.
yeah. So yeah. Anybody else? This is a great topic, and I'm glad the shares are coming out. So what else? Anybody else just have another story, or hey, just a different twist on buyer remorse? We've talked about post. I'll share another one. I remember it was on a virtual tour. Loved the house, loved the neighborhood, all of that. But what you can't really tell is ceiling heights on a virtual showing. And this particular property, I don't remember which one of our agents had it, had very low ceiling heights. And so the buyers got here from wherever in the world they were coming. They got to the house and they're like, you know, taller people. And they're like, wow, the ceilings are really short in here, and backed out of the deal because of ceiling height. So, Molly.
So I've learned to be careful when it's the offer, like right after the buyers lose out on another offer that, like, say they loved it or like that was the one, they lost it. I find they get that momentum of like, oh my gosh, we've got to get one. Let's throw everything at this next one. And then they might not like love it as much as the one before. So I find like in that specific moment where like they just lost out at something, being really careful and making sure, okay, are you doing this just for the sake of putting in an offer? Or do you actually love this one as much as the other one because your offer is as strong as that one? And I've had times where they're like, no, like we kind of just wanted to go through the motion. I'm like, okay, then maybe let's not throw all of our eggs in this basket. um, so at that specific moment, I feel like I've had at least 2 times that happen.
Yeah, this is a great share. This is pro stuff right here, right? Like really being aware of the timeline and the series of events that your buyer has been through. So that's a great share, Molly. Thanks for bringing that one, because that is definitely another time where you've got to be careful and you've got to really make sure that this is really what they want and this isn't a knee-jerk reaction to something else that happened.
I love that, Steve. That's like dating, the rebound offer. There you go.
I love it.
I love that, Molly. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. The rebound offer. I'm writing that one down. Who else? Any other scenarios where you feel like this can rear its ugly head? I do like what Chris said, right? We still got to have the communication with the listing agent, right? She didn't wait till the next day and realize, oh, we're not going to write an offer. We're still communicating with the listing agent. hey, I think I've got some really strong interest here. I don't know if we're going to be writing an offer yet, but I just kind of wanted to gauge, right? Make sure there's not some other offer in or something where we need to take this a little bit more serious or maybe speed up the process. So just setting the stage a little bit, right? So, and it does mean one call last night. Again, we're calling again today, but I can promise you the pros want more communication than less communication. Any other thoughts or scenarios for buyer remorse?
Not buyer remorse, but I just have to say that I don't feel good. I'm laying in bed and I'm scrolling, and I love that you're live because as I'm scrolling, feeling like crap, it says Steve Rovithis is live, and I'm like, oh shit, the call. Okay, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, just a notification. I think those are good. I think more than anything, when we go live on all those channels, it just says that. So, but obviously the juice is getting on here and be able to interact. I see you, Jan Cullen and Jorge Ayala, watching us on Insta over here. I get a little bit of a ticker on who's over there, but we'd love to have you guys come on live so you can interact with us. Please DM me for the link so that you guys can chat and follow along live on the call. Well, I guess we'll use the last couple of minutes here. We haven't done much on training that's available, but we have a monster training today. It's one of the top things that Real Broker does throughout the year. They have their big annual summit called Rise, but then they have this kind of midway called Real X. It is 12 to 5 today. This is a don't miss seminar. We are doing a live watch party at our Agawam office. If you can't attend that, there is links to join this virtually. And if you don't have those links or you're not at Real, please just shoot me a DM, give me a text or an email, and we will get you the link to register. 12 to 5, the latest tips, tricks, strategies on how to market yourself, how to generate business, and on how to succeed in 2025 moving forward. So I promise you, you will learn a couple of things there that will be fire. So hope to see a lot of you guys live at the Agawam office, otherwise virtually, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow morning. All right, take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good one.